Aloha, I'm Kajira Djoumahna. Thank you for joining me for Level 2, Part 2 of my Black Sheep Belly Dance format for American Tribal Style Belly Dance. In this DVD, you will find the second half of my Level 2 format. To gain the most from this film, I recommend you study my other DVDs first. One of the moves that was on my IOMED videos has been updated with the new version here. Everything else presented in this DVD is previously unrecorded. Please be sure to warm yourself up thoroughly before you begin. Why not put me on pause? Come back when you're warm. Welcome back. Let's start with our class pranam or prayer from level 1 to center ourselves and prepare for learning. The first movement I'll show you on this DVD is called Propeller Turn. It's a slow movement. Don't forget your posture throughout the DVD. Make sure that your low back is relaxed, chest is lifted evenly all around. Then inhale and keep the chest there. Your shoulders are up, back, and down in a relaxed but centered position. We'll demonstrate first, and I'll break it down facing away from you. This can be done using a vibrational overlay on your hips as well. It looks quite nice. We'll do that in our transition practice. Now we'll do it the other direction. Look to the direction that your arms are moving. I'll explain everything facing away from the camera. The first thing to remember is we always turn away from the arms that come down first. This is a rule of thumb for most of our movements. In this case, you'll see it's the right arm coming down, so you know you'll be turning to the left shoulder. This does start out just like the corkscrew turn, so the difference is right here. Instead of both arms coming down, one comes down, the first one. Now your followers know you're doing propeller and not corkscrew. I'll go over what the arms do while we're turning. Pretend you've already done both sides of your setup, and your right arm has come back down. It's going to swoop this direction to your left. While you are turning, the arms cross in front of your chest, and when you get back to the front, they unwind like this. I'll do it all facing the mirror. Just the arms. This is towards the back, and when you come back, you're going to end on an angle. The leg towards the audience is on the ball of that foot. Let's do it with the arms and the foot turn. The foot turn's the same as with your corkscrew turn. You can set it up at any time during the setup of this movement. If the right arm comes down first, you know you're turning left. So put your right leg over your left. You raise to the balls of both feet, pivot around, plant the left one in place, and slide the right one into your desired ending position. Now we'll put the feet and the arms together. You can do 1 or 2 wrist rotations, or sometimes they're called floreos, or flores, Spanish for flowers. Let the music tell you how many to do. You're going to end looking out past your fingertips as if there's something extremely fascinating that only you know about. Now from the other direction. Left arm down first. You know you will be turning to the right, but right now you don't know whether this is going to be a corkscrew or a propeller turn. This is the cue that tells you it's propeller. Corkscrew was covered on the last Level 2 DVD. In a show, you can do a full back bend if you like, but for practicing and learning's sake, let's do what we did with that corkscrew and do a knee bend. It'll help you see me better while you're learning the DVD and protect your lower back. Let's do the turn again from the other side. Look in the direction that your hands move, keeping the leader in your peripheral vision. And one more time. You'll notice that I lift my wrist slightly right before I turn. Let me show you what I mean by that. That means we're going now. This move is a torso twist variation. You learned the original torso twist in the Level 1 DVD. Now is the time for the variation number 1. Stephanie and I will demonstrate first. And we do use this in combination with our taksim. It turns in thirds exactly like the original torso twist. Let me face away from the camera and explain it. Arm start in hug a big tree position. It also starts exactly like the original torso twist, pressing the chest to 10 o'clock. Head looks slightly towards 2, and your forearm on the same side will be slightly lifted. Pressing around to 9, continuing to 6, and then you're going to stop here at 2 o'clock instead of continuing to 12, like you did with the original torso twist. Come on back to 10, and then finish regularly. 12, and center with your taksim. Make sure those are 2 separate movements and that they don't blend together. Follow us as we repeat that. 10, we sometimes call this the fake out because we didn't go all the way around. Now we will. I'd like you now to see the next torso twist variation. This one we call Around the World. We'll demonstrate for you first. Facing away, I'll break it down. Starting always at 10 o'clock, we're going to go all the way around past our finishing point and then into the fake out. This is a combination of the 2. We'll repeat that for you so you can follow along at home. All the way through center. Around to 2 for the fake out. And the finish. Remember, when turning, it's exactly like the regular torso twist. Turns in thirds, first to this direction, and then there. This movement is called the percussive Maya. It's the first time in ATS that you get to pick up your heel while performing this move. Therese and I will demonstrate for you first. And now I'll break it down facing away. Arms are in standard position, or hug a big tree. The first thing that happens is the right foot comes up on the ball as you lift your hip, drop it straight down. Pick it up again and do your Maya. That ends on a flat foot. Let's do that side together. Drop, Maya. The knees must be very bent in order to execute the move properly and safely. Now we'll do both sides, starting with the right. Drop, Maya, drop, Maya, drop, Maya. Maya is on level 1 DVD. Like so. This is fun to use during fast music as a sort of surprise. They're not expecting to see a Maya then. This movement is over, over, up, roll, down. This is the one that I mentioned in the intro as having been taught on the IMED DVD, but there's a new version. That's why I'm including it here. Lori and I will demonstrate both. Over, over, up, roll down. We turn this in halves. On the diagonal, if the right arm is up, the rib cages will slide to the right first. I'll break this down further while facing away from the camera. Here we go. Keep your right arm up, left arm down, sort of in an S position. When the right arm is up, you'll be sliding your rib cage that direction first. Then left, then lift up high and roll down as if in a body wave. You'll end with your knees bent quite a lot. Keep them there if you can. Slide, slide, lift the chest, roll down, shifting the weight from here to here, center of gravity. Okay, let's try that again. Right, left, lift, roll down. All right, in order to turn this half turns on the diagonal, if this arm is up, we'll be going to 2 o'clock first and then to 8 o'clock. Watch Lori and I as we do that, and then you can try it with us. Over, over, up, roll down, over, over, up, turn, over, over, up, roll down. Let this rib cage slide help you move. It'll propel you in the correct direction. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the count. Of course, we do this with the other direction now, and this is the difference between the two DVDs. Left arm up, right arm down. Slide your rib cage toward the raised arm. This case is left, right, up, roll down. Left, right, up, roll down. So when I'm turning this, I'm going to turn to my 10 o'clock diagonal first, and then over to approximately 4. We'll demonstrate for you now. Left, right, up, roll down. Left, right, up, roll down. Cue, right, up, roll down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left, right, up, roll down. Left, right, up, roll down. Like in so many of our half turns, it keeps going until the leader chooses another move. This movement is called 2 forward, 2 back. That describes pretty much what the hips are doing. You're going to do 2 hip bumps forward and then 2 hip bumps back. Megan and I will demonstrate for you. In order to cue into the quarter turns, which we do with the step, the leader simply turns into her first quarter. We'll also repeat this on the other side. Thank you. Now I'll explain it facing away from you. We'll start with the left hip leading. This is a 4-count movement. Begins placing the left foot in front slightly. You're going to press against the ball of that foot to raise your hip. Let it drop and press again. So you have 2 hip lifts. At this point, your arm on the same side as the active leg is up. The other reaches forward. The head looks straight ahead, but since I'm talking to you, I'll look at the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the count. See how our heads move? Forward, side, forward, side, forward, side. Now we'll face away from you and break down the quarter turn. The quarter turn is in cross quarters, not in diagonals. We turn now using the stable leg. Here we go. It's easy to follow. And it's fun to do. Follow us now, the other side. We'll use the right hip now. 2, forward, 2, back. 2, forward, 2, back. Here comes the cue. This movement is a slow movement. It's a turn. It's loosely inspired by my friend Rachel Bryce, but we also call it the Egyptian goddess because the end is something that she would never do, as far as I know. Right, Richie? All right, here we go. Diana and I will demonstrate both directions. That's why we call it the Egyptian goddess. It kind of ends in that archetypal pose. You can also do a head slide if you want to be a little cheesy. Fits with the shift to telly. Break it. Oh, let's demonstrate it the other direction too, and then I'll break it all down facing away from you, so it's easier for you to follow. Facing away, keeping in mind our rule of thumb that we always turn away from the arms that go down first. That really helps you remember what the on-the-spot decisions we make while dancing improvisationally. Notice how high up our back elbows are. You'll see that our rib cages have slid to the opposite direction where our arms went down. This leg is bent, the one opposite where the wrists are, a lot. The other knee, of course, is bent. It is belly dance. We stay bent most of the time. Straight on, it looks like this. Okay? Let's do that part again, Diana. Thank you. You can do 1 or 2 wrist rotations as you desire. Follow the leader. She'll be listening to the music and interpreting it. Make sure that rear elbow is lifted very high. This is part of how it became called Rachel. Turning away from the arms that go down first, this is the Egyptian goddess part. Make sure that the back of the heel of your hand grazes the body as you raise it, and then it comes out right at bra height. Palms are flat, archetypal pose. We're going to also repeat it on the other side. See how the rib cage is slid away from the wrists that came down first, and the opposite leg is bent more. You raise both arms before you turn. The backs of the hands are facing one another. As you turn, both hands come down. Like so, and then the back of the hand grazes the body as you come up. Don't get your finger symbols caught in your jewelry. Try that on your own. This movement is a rhythmic, slow move. It's inspired by Kathak dance, but then it's done very quickly. We don't try to do that in belly dance. The mudra, if you're not using symbols during a slow passage, is called Mayuda. It's the dancing peacock and sometimes represents the peacock feather in Krishna's cap. Or dancing peacocks, sometimes you'll see it like this. This is a pair of dancing peacocks. Again, it's called Mayuda. You'll see that it's the ring finger that comes down to meet the thumb. Start with your hands in pataka, which is flat. Bring this down to meet, pressing the tips together. We'll be using this during this turn, but first, Megan and I will demonstrate the whole thing. You can move either way. You can start either direction that you like. Some of that will depend on your relationship to your followers. We'll face away while we break this down. To begin this movement, place one hand against the back of the other. Press on it tightly so that the hands come into a vertical position. Your forearms will then be horizontal to the floor, like so. The body position here has the foot behind on the lower arm. I'll say it this way so it can apply to either direction for you. So in this case, the lower arm, the foot on the same side is behind. We will tilt the head that direction, and we'll also slide our rib cages away from the hand position, like so. Looking that way, we give a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, Megan, thanks. On count 5, we're going to step out with the right foot, and we're going to do a 3-step turn. In this case, it goes right, left, right. But if you started this way, it would go left, right, left. Let's do that part with the feet. When you unlock your hands from this position, put them right into Mayuda Hasta, or Mayuda Mudra. You will be turning the palm of the right hand, in this case, over the first arm to come out. You're going to look up at your hand on count 7. But let's do the feet first, and then I'll break down the hands better for you separately. We'll put it all together all at once. All right, here we go. Pressing against the palms, counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count 5, we're stepping out right, left, right, and then back into the position. Now you'll see that the other foot is behind. Let's go over what the arms just did during that turn. Without the turn. On count 5, when you step away, your hands immediately come into Mayuda. The palms then face the floor. You reach out with the hand towards the direction that you're moving, and we will have turned now. The other arm that was higher goes up, and you look at it as it goes up, bring it down, and the one that was higher then becomes lower. And it's the one that's pressing against the other palm now. You would fix that foot behind. Let's put the arms and the feet together and do the whole thing. One movement in one direction has 8 counts, so I'll count that for you as we go. Remember, on count 7 is when you raise the arm and look at it. Why don't you watch us again first, facing this direction, and then try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The next movements I'll show you are called the orbit. There are 3 different variations that we use for this movement. We're always in Arabic when we do any of the orbits. We'll demonstrate variation 1 for you now. Now, we'll demonstrate the second variation, then the third. You can use the orbits to change leaders or not. As you noticed in the first demonstration, we changed leaders. The one who was in front became the one in back. This time, we chose not to. It's okay to try both ways. Now for the third orbit variation, and then again the breakdown will follow. Break back into a stagger position when you're done, or a V, diamond, or circle. Now, let's break down the orbits, starting with the first one that we showed you. This one has everyone in one line. We don't do this with more than 4 people. If there are more than 4 people in your group, you're going to choose one of the variations that's split into 2 groups. It's too difficult to keep your line straight with more than 4 people. Believe me, we've tried. Let's start with the first variation now. First, you need to cue into Arabic. Everybody will be in their 4-person stagger or other position that you would normally dance in. Could be circle, diamond, V, anything like that. The cue for the orbit is that the leader puts her arms down, 1, 2, and backs up. This tells the followers to get behind her in a straight line. It's important that the leader stays in place for long enough to allow for that to happen. Now, if you're in the front or back, you'll need to step out quite largely. If you're in the middle, stay in place to help people turn. This is the one where we changed leaders. So when the first person is in the end of the row, you're going to raise your arms. Now that I'm back in the back part of the line, I'm going to use this opportunity to change leaders. You'll notice that I've raised my arms and so has everyone else. This should happen in canon. That means one by one, like dominoes, so nobody turns sooner than the next person or raises their arms sooner than the person behind them. 1. And now spread apart back into a dancing formation, such as the stagger. You have a new leader now who'll direct you into a whole new move. Orbit variation number 2. This one is for groups of 4 or more, so you can split your groups into 2. We'll demonstrate that now. One thing to remember is to wait for people to get into 2 groups, so hold your Arabic after you've cued the orbit for a while. Make sure you make eye contact with the second leader of the other column before you begin turning. Here's the cue for an orbit. And now I'm looking over. We've made eye contact. That means we can start to turn. We try to match speeds best we can and keep eye contact as much as possible. We won't change leaders this time, but it's okay to. Now spread back out into a stagger position. Orbit variation number 3. This one is from our sister troop member, Betty, in Taiwan. Couldn't be with us during the shoot, but we miss you, Betty. Love you. This is your variation. Here, you'll find the columns turn towards one another. It's a lovely variation for this movement. Here's the cue. Make eye contact. Here we go. And again, you can change leaders or not. For the purposes of this demo, you'll see that we didn't. Try it both ways. It's a lot of fun. The next movement that Lori and I will show you is called the tribal feet single arm turn. It's named so because it's inspired by a group of that name that we first saw do the movement. We've tweaked it for a group improvisational format. Watch as we demonstrate. And from the other side, I'll break it down facing away. As you just saw, it comes out of hip bump. So first, in order to lead into the tribal feet single arm turn, you have to be in hip bump, either on the right or left side. As you know, we're black sheep. We do it both ways. The cue begins with dropping the arms out of hip bump position on count 1 of the phrase of the music. Take 4 beats to raise the arm that's towards the audience. What happens while you turn is a simple paddle turn. It needs to be simple because it's quite fast. You have 1 count for each half of the turn. You will spot from the front to the back of the room as you turn. The arm is out to the front, in to the back. So it'll be doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You do finish count 8 to the back of the room, so you need to come around to the front on count 1 and get back into hip bump. That's the easiest movement to end this with, so we always do. Let's do it at a slow pace. You'll also notice that our finger cymbals have a very specific pattern during this turn. We only hit once, and that's when the arm is out. I'll break down the movements and the counts and everything now as we go very slowly throughout the movement. First, we'll need to get into hip bump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right about here, I put my weight onto the front foot and I click my cymbals tightly together. I'm then going to draw the arm in as we turn to the back of the room, spotting in that direction. That's count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ends to the back of the room. Don't worry, that is correct. Count 1 is your hip bump back to the front. Let's repeat that on the other side at the same slow pace. This time, we'll play our finger cymbals just on the clack part of the tribal feet single arm turn, not during the hip bump. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Clack. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. We'd like to now show you some slow movements with Taksim and Maya. These are specific arm movements that we've created that we like to call spider arms for fun. They're different for both Taksim and Maya. First, Lori and I will demonstrate both, then we'll face away from you and break them down. They both turn in quarter turns, as you will notice, and these quarter turns are not on the diagonals, they're on cross quarters, front, side, back, side, like that. That'll get broken down later. Watch as well as you can. First, we'll start with the Taksim. These are regular position arms, as you know from level 1 or your IMED DVDs. This indicates spider arm. I'm pushing out, quarter turn to the left. We're moving in quarter turns. Let's do that away from the camera so you can follow along, and I'll explain which directions to face. We're going to start the turn with our right arm coming down first. We're going to bring it down towards the front of the room. It comes right by the side of your face and out like so. We did a quarter turn forward. Now we're going to bring that arm up, do a quarter turn to your back or to your left shoulder. The next one is a quarter turn to your front again or to your right. Quarter turn backwards or to your left. Let's continue with that so you can get a feel for the turns. The hip goes down as you press out with the palm of your hand on the same side. Now we'll do that turn with the left arm down first. So we'll be bringing it towards the mirror first, towards the front. So it's a quarter turn to the front, quarter turn to the back, quarter turn to the front, quarter turn to the back. Follow us and I'll explain which sides we're on as well as rights and lefts. Here we go, into Taksim. I'm watching for Lori to bring down her left arm, and that's the cue. Here we go. So I just turned with my left to my right, left, right. Or think of it as forward turn, backward turn, forward turn, backward turn. Lori and I will now demonstrate the Maya with spider arms. You'll notice that they're different than they were with the Taksim. Start out in regular position first. When you wish to go into spider arms, wait until you're going on the right hip, raise your right arm up. Look with your head to the right. When the left arm comes up, look forward again. Move your hip corresponding with the same arm. Watch us as we demonstrate a turn. I'll break that down facing away from you. First, start your Mayas. The first thing that will happen is our right arm will come down with our right hip. We get going in place before we start turning with this one. You can start turning forward or backwards. This gives you more variety depending on what side you're leading from, which direction the followers are from you. Gives you more variety for your show. Teresa and I will now show you something we call the ribcage infinity. This is an upper body isolation. Observe first, and then I'll demonstrate it to the mirror and break it down for you. We'll start with Taksim, so that you can see how I might transition from one move to the other. We'll face away for that breakdown. The first thing that happens that's part of the cue is that both arms will come up, back of the wrists facing one another but not touching, just a bit apart. The right arm comes down very close, right by your ear. Make sure it's the back of your hand because you are wearing cymbals. So you're going to come down with the right, lean to the left at the same time with your upper body, your rib cage. It's going to scoop down. Keep that elbow lifted. The rib cage is doing a Taksim style figure eight, moving down, out, up, down, out, up. It's really important that that elbow stays lifted. It's really just the forearms moving. Watch while I show you that part. See how my elbow is staying almost in place? It's very similar to just this movement here. Try just your arms and then add it with the movement. Chest leans away from the direction you're pushing with the palm of your hand. Keep your hips stable, legs stable. Don't let them move. Let your head move naturally as it would like to do with the movement. Now we're going to show you a half turn option for the ribcage infinity. First, start in place. You'll hear me make a little noise. This is a slow move, so it's not going to be very loud. Okay. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right. right, left. We only do 4 total, or 2 to each side, when we're facing the back. That way we know when to turn back to the front. This movement is called the wagon wheel. It's best done in groups of 3 or more. I'm going to use it now coming out of Egyptian, but you can use any symmetrical movement for this. First, the leader needs to take everybody into a half turn so that they can wait for them. Let's demonstrate first, then I'll break it down. We always end in a circle. At that point, a new leader can decide to take over, or the original one can continue leading. Now I'm going to break down the wagon wheel for you while I'm facing the camera. I'm going to start in Egyptian just like I did during the demo, but remember, you can use any symmetrical movement you like, so try it with a couple different ones. First thing you need to do, no matter which move you choose, is get everybody into a half turn. So here's the cue in Egyptian. This is cue for the wagon wheel. See how my arms are down? That's so that we can lock into this folkloric position. People in the middle must stay steady and on point so that the people on the outside of the line don't have to run around the circle. We then break into a circular formation, and a new leader can take over, or the original leader can change the move. Diana and I will now demonstrate what we call basic Egyptian with calibrated spins. Yep. It's important that the leader changes her arms from Egyptian, or that signals that you're going to repeat the entire combination. I'm going to break that down for you facing away from the camera. All right. First, you need to be in basic Egyptian in order to do the basic Egyptian with calibrated spins. You listen for the vocal cue. If you're leading, make sure that cue is on count 1 of the musical phrase. Count to 8. So you would cue on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next thing that's going to happen is a paddle turn. Right foot comes out towards the front of the room. Spot to the front and then to the back. The arms come into standard hug a big tree position at that point. Let's do just that much. That's the first half of the combo. First, we'll get into Egyptian. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's that much of the combo so far. After that, we're going to do pivot, shift, step that you know from your IAMED DVD. Let's go over that really quickly, just for you now. Right foot on the ball, you're going to pivot the hip forward in a horizontal plane. Don't let that hip come up as if it's Egyptian. It's horizontal. Bring the hip back without kicking up the foot. Make sure the foot stays planted. And then bring a hip forward as you put your weight on that same leg. Let's try the right side again together. Pivot, shift, step on it. It's important that you step on it when I say step. Let's try it again on the right, and then we'll repeat the left. Pivot, shift, step. Pivot, shift, step. Pivot, shift, step. Pivot, shift, step. There are 4 or 2 on each side in this combination. The count would start on count 5 of the combo. Let's do just that part, and then it completes with 4 more half paddle turns or 2 full paddle turns, just like we already did. Let's do that last half from pivot shift step into paddles. Then we're going to do everything all together, first and last half. Pivot, shift, step. Pivot, shift, step. Repeat. Pivot, shift, step. Pivot, shift, step. Now, right arm to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back, and we'll come out of it for the purposes of this DVD with hip bump. Remember, you need to change the movement where you're back to the front. If you go into Egyptian, that just signals that you're going to do the whole combination again. Let's do the whole thing now, first half and last half. So remember, we're starting in Egyptian, and then you're going to listen for that little dog to yelp. 1, 2, 3, 4, yip! 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hip bump on 1 to the front. 8 happens to the back, just like it did with a tribal feet single arm turn. Megan and I will now demonstrate for you a slow move we call the barrel turn. I'll break that simple move down for you, facing away from the camera. Go get an object like a ring or a finger symbol or a coin, something small that you can place on the floor in front of you to study. I'm going to use the symbol. Place that object on the floor pretty close to your foot, maybe about 1.5 feet away. You're going to focus on this object when you start and end the turn. It's important to look at this space. This is the only turn we do where we look down in ATS. We like to start with a knee kick so that if you're wearing a skirt, it'll flounce up beautifully like this. Set that foot down across your other one. That's your right over your left. Your right arm comes down. Look at the object on the floor that you've placed there. Keep your vision on it as long as you can. Look up briefly and look back down at that object on the floor as you finish your turn. And when you're done, you're going to look up. I know you have questions about the arms, so let's do that part while you're not looking at the floor. The arms are out and opposite one another throughout the entire turn, except for at the very end. The arms start like this, right coming down, left coming up. You're going to do that for as long as you can, and remember, normally you'd be focusing on the object on the floor. When you can no longer do so, look up quickly at the ceiling and then immediately back down, keeping those arms opposite. As you're getting back to your ending position, let the left arm come behind your back like we're demonstrating now. Right arm is in front, and then you're going to unfurl back into your standard position. This ends on a slight diagonal from where it began. Let's put that all together now. You can look at me, of course, while learning and then practice the floor spot later. I'm going to look down as well as Megan so you can see how it actually looks once you've perfected the turn. This turn can be followed by a quick one right after this, but we don't do a fast one just by itself. It would be completely unexpected and no one would be prepared. Megan and I will now demonstrate what I mean by that. First a slow, followed by a fast. This is an option for you. The turn Stephanie and I will now demonstrate is called the princess turn because it's loosely inspired by my friend Princess Farhana. I'm going to take it out of Taksim so you can see the transition. And to the other direction, also out of Taksim. And now we'll break the move down for you, facing away from the camera. No matter which slow move you transition out of, the first thing you need to do is get your arms up, back of the wrists facing one another, just like in ribcage infinity or axel rose. But what tells your followers that you're cueing into princess is a turn of the head. That's immediately followed by a quick hip jut on the same side of the body. In this case, Stephanie and I will demonstrate first to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, head, hip. 4 floreos or wrist rotations on the way down. And then a slight lift of the wrist says, we're going now. Place your foot behind. As you're turning, let the hands come on either side of your body. When you get back in your original position, the index finger is drawn up the side of your body, and then up, head, hip. If you turn your head to the left, you turn away from it, so it follows our same rule of thumb. Turn away from the arms, or in this case, the head, the direction that it goes to first. Keep it simple for tribal so people can remember improv. I'm going to give Stephanie a cue so that she knows when to turn her head in this instance, but this normally would not happen in performance application. 1, 2, 3, 4, head, hip. 4 Florios, just as if we were doing it on the other side. Same thing. The lift of the wrist says go now. Arms come across the body, index fingers draw up, and we always end the same direction that we started. You can then transition easily out into any slow move that you desire. Lori and I will now demonstrate a fast movement combination that we call the jiggy. Yep. That's it. Let's break it down facing the mirror. As you notice, it starts with the 3/4 shoulder shimmy. Begin your shoulder shimmies. When the leader yips, you're going to turn around for a count of 8. Make sure 4 is right in the back. 2 and 6 will be to your sides. Yip, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll down on the next count of 1. Then pick up your heels and move your knees to the right for count 2. Place your heels back in place with the knees forward. 3, 4 is a roll up. Now we're going to do shoulder shimmies for 5, 6, 7, and 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. The next one, we're going to roll down again, but this time on count 2, the knees go to the left. Make sure you pick up the heels of your feet so you can do this easily. And then count 3 is back in place. Count 4 is roll up. This time, instead of shoulder shimmies, we're going to give it a tiny torso twist for the counts of 5, 6, 7, and 8. Just a small one, not like you would do as you were slow. And we repeat this whole sequence twice per cue. Let's start again from the original cue. And this time we'll go through it twice at the same speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll down, right, forward, up. 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll down, left, forward, up. Little tiny torso twist. Roll down, right, forward, up. 5, 6, 7, 8. And down, left, forward, up. Little tiny torso twist, and you're done. I like to come out of it using hip bump, but that's not written in stone. Diana and I will now demonstrate a turn sequence that we call the Frederique. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep! I'm going to break that down facing away from the camera. First, we have to be in hip bump. For this case, we'll use the right hip in this instance. As you noticed during the demonstration, we use the left then, so do practice it on both sides. I'll just break it down on the right for you now. You need to be in hip bump first, then listen for that vocal cue and count to 8. Yip, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, on the next count 1, your arms will come out like this. You're going to place weight on the right foot and look that way, spot. Arms come up as you face the back of the room in this half turn sequence. That's count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a trick part of this move. It stays in place, and then you do a full turn for count 8. So the little surprise happens on count 7. Now, let's try it all together with an even tempo count. Yip, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Front, back, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Practice that several times. The tricky part is to stand still for count 7, facing front. Remember, count 8 is a full turn. Teresa and I will now demonstrate a combination that's called the contrary combo. It's contrary because it's heavy and earthy, then light and airy. Heavy and earthy, light and airy. That's how it got its name. I'm going to break that down for you facing away. First thing that happens is the arms come up, but the palms flip upwards. Yes, you are playing your cymbals, but this wrist movement can still happen. That happens on the one of a phrase. At the exact same time that you do that, you're going to stomp your right foot solidly on the floor and let the right hip come up, like so. We repeat that on the left, right, left. So 4 counts of stomps, and they alternate from the right to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now comes the light, airy part. For this, I'm going to be on the ball of the right foot. It's going to cross over, and the arms are going to extend. Keep that elbow up. Let's do that transition from this position to the other. Okay, so it's this side, that side. Again, there are 4 movements. From the very top with the heavy earthy part, then into the airy part, 4 for each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little slower this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeat that sequence twice. We'll do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you come out of that with any fast move. I think we'll demonstrate it coming into Arabic. We're going to repeat the whole thing, transitioning into Arabic after. Oh, let's transition in as well. How about from Egyptian? Here we go. Megan and I will now demonstrate 3 different movements that are variations on a backwards turn. Of course, I'm going to break those down for you facing away from the camera. We used body wave and taksim to transition through those movements. Now, for the breakdowns. The first backwards turn is what I call the original. For that one, you're going to be standing square to the audience or to the mirror, straight on. You're going to end the same way, not on any diagonals. The left palm is up and facing away from the body, and the right arm is down, facing away from the body. What the followers are looking for is a quick head turn, and that lets you know it's time to turn this movement. We turn as fast as we can during passages in the music for texture. The hand unwinds while you turn. So it started here, and as we're turning, we're going to let that palm move so that when you end, both palms are facing your body. They start away from the body, and they do this while you're turning. So when you finish, they're both facing in. Now we're going to break down the other backwards turns that you saw us demonstrate. The difference in the cue for those is that these are performed at an angle. So when you're facing straight on, that's the original backwards turn. It doesn't finish with a body wave. Both diagonal backwards turns finish with 3 body waves, 2 small and 1 medium. You have to watch your arms during those body waves because it'll be different from one diagonal to the other. One of the rules of thumb in ATS is to be open to the audience. Watch as we demonstrate what we mean. The audience is the mirror for the classroom demonstration purpose. So let's do that slowly all together, and I'll break down what the arms are doing during that turn. I'm starting exactly the same way as I did before, but on a diagonal. I'm again turning my head, and that indicates let's go now. I place my foot behind myself to pivot around, and again your fingers unwind. In this position, you're going to need to switch arms so that you end up open to the audience. Now, with Floreos, do 2 small body waves. These were broken down for you before in your level 1. And now 1 medium size. You can pick up your foot and come forward with that and roll back down so that your foot ends up on the ball when you finish. Now we'll perform this from the other diagonal. You'll see it won't be necessary to change your arms now. Megan's going to lead from this side. Why don't we do it transitioning out of Taksim? The Floreos are inward facing. Stephanie and I will now demonstrate a fast combination that we call the switchback. We'll be playing our cymbals because it has a distinct cymbal pattern, which I'll break down for you when we face away from the camera. Ending transition is not part of the switchback combo. I just chose to demonstrate coming out of it with a half-time shimmy on the diagonal. Now I'll turn around and break this down for you. The first thing that has to happen is you must be in Turkish before you can cue into the switchback. We'll start with the Turkish oriented with the right hip front. I won't play the cymbals right now so that I can talk and explain the movements. So you get into Turkish, and on the one of a phrase, you're going to raise the arm that's toward the audience like so, as if in an Arabic step. That requires us to lift the chest on that one. This is also 1, 2, 3, 4. We just switched. I like to pick up the knee to puff up our skirt, like so. We do 4 of these, or 2 on each side, however you like to think of that. Let's do just that part so far. From the Turkish. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there's a change. When you come around here, you're going to let your right foot come up on the ball, bringing that hip up and dropping it to the center. This movement we call the pretzel. Now, swing that leg behind you, put your weight on it and drop the front free hip. Swing that one behind, drop the right foot goes back, drop your left. You do that a total of 4 times or 2 on each side. Let's put that together with the beginning of your switchback before we move on, and I'll give you a count for everything. Pretend we were in Turkish. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2. Get ready. Pretzel, 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 pretzel. That's the first half of the combination. Now, we repeat those 2 moves, but we only do the switchback portion. By that I mean this part where we switch sides. We're only going to do that twice. So it takes half the length of time it did in the very beginning. Then we repeat the pretzel identically to how we just did. Let's do just that last part. 2 switchbacks and pretzel. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're now done with the combination. You can come out using Turkish, hip bump, shimmy, Egyptian, whatever you desire. We do start this on both hips, so let's try it now on the left side. And here we are in Turkish. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to drop your pretzel with the other hip first. Get ready. Drop and drop and drop and drop and. Only 2 this time. 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretzel time. 5, 6, 7, 8. You're out of it. Stephanie just chose a halftime hip bump, which is one of my favorites to get out of this move. Let's try that one more time together. Please hit rewind and try it on both sides. Let's learn the cymbal pattern now that fits this combination. The first thing that you're going to play is a group of 3, 3, then 7. That's going to fit the switchback part. I'll face away while we practice. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Try that frequently until you can get it up to about this fast. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we'll match that to the movement after I teach you the pretzel part. The pretzel cymbals are, that's a clack with both hands on count 1. 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. That'll fit with this part of the movement. Let's put those 2 together with the moves now. I'm going to be playing full time, so do remember you're going to play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 times. Then you'll be playing da 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 da. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 twice. That'll make 8 counts for the pretzel. Now we'll do those together, switchback and pretzel combinations with cymbals, coming out of Turkish. Then you're done. This whole movement combination is also started on the other hip. Practice it on the left with me now. I chose half-time shimmy on the diagonal to come on out of the switchback combination. Lori and I will now demonstrate a combination that we call the Arabic partner pass. Yep. You'll need to know Arabic with a Twist or Arabic 3 from the Level 2 Volume 1 DVD or IAMED DVD in order to come out of this combination. We always use Arabic with a twist moving into a circle to finish this. Now I'm going to break this down with Lori so that you can follow along at home. The first thing that happens is you have to cue into Arabic and then get everybody into a circle. It could also happen that you're already in a circular formation facing in. Then all you have to do is cue into Arabic, and then you're going to re-cue with a vocal cue. I'll show you what I mean now. Yep, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means now we're going, because I cued it twice. The first thing that happens after that on the one of the phrase is the arms are going to come down. You're going to be moving to your right. Your back will pass your partner's back. Let's do that much, the cue into this first part of the combination. All right. Yep, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Flat, ball, ball, turn to your right shoulder. So the feet are flat, ball, ball, ball. They go right, left, right, left. You are doing Arabic, so don't forget the chest lift. You end up opposite your partner. Now you'll perform the Arabic 3. And then you repeat the flat, ball, ball, ball for 4 counts, backs to your partner again, leading with your right shoulders. Arms come down and swoop up during that 4 counts. Let's try that much all together from the very beginning, and I'll keep counting, but I won't stop. Yep, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Flat, ball, ball, turn, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, turn. Now, you haven't learned this part yet. This is kind of a fake out. Looks like you're going to do another Arabic 3, but you're not. So let me show you what you're going to do. Watch Lori and I. 1, 2, 3, 4. What was that, you say? Well, it was in Arabic. 1, 2. Then the right leg, which is in front anyway, crosses over the left. You perform a full turn now. And then you repeat the entire sequence. Let's try the whole thing all together. Yep, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arabic with a twist. Flat, ball, ball, ball. Get ready, full turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arabic with that twist. Flat, ball, ball. Get ready, full turn. Arabic 3 to come out. In a circle. Anytime you can break away and lead from a new position. Diana and I will now demonstrate a movement that we call the salsa combination. I'll give her a count of 4 so she knows when to begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. I'll now break it down for you facing away. First thing that happens is right arm and leg come out, left arm goes up, like so. Look in that direction. Now bring both arms in as well as that leg. Palms are now facing one another, and it's gone from out here to in here. So it's a large expansive movement to a small contracted one. At this time, you're going to let your hip go right, left, right, up, down, up, like so. Right, left, right. Now we'll repeat everything on the left side. Left arm, leg, and head. Bring everything in, left hip now, up, down, up. Right side. In order to turn, we like to give our followers a cue. It's verbal. Yep. This movement has a distinctive symbol pattern as well, which I'll teach you right away. Now that you have your symbols on, let's learn the pattern. I'll face away for you, make it a little easier. All you're going to do here is hit one time with each move. I'll show you what I mean. And when you do that, you're clacking with both hands, so it's super emphatic. Watch. So there are 5 symbol patterns to fit this. The members of Black Sheep Belly Dance who are present now are demonstrating a diagonal formation. Diagonals can be performed on either angle. For example, Lori could have followers behind her on the other side. Diagonals are fine either way. The person at the back of the diagonal needs to be angled so she can see the dancer in front of her. It's not always possible to see the leader while in a diagonal formation. Stephanie and Therese in the chorus will now come forward and demonstrate a V formation, joining the ladies out front. They were in the chorus and they've just come out to join. This is a V. You could imagine Diana and Megan not being there and picture the diagonal line from Lori to Stephanie to Therese. That was the other diagonal I meant. Lori will now cue into a cluster formation. This is a fun formation for you to try. It's quite a surprise. We do it slow, but we use the fast Arabic step at slow half-speed time to do the cluster. It's meant to be a surprise during the slow dance, where the dancers all come together quickly and gather. You don't try to be seen, you just get behind the leader. Then you turn in 8 counts, or rather 16 counts to 8 directions. When you get back to the starting position, you spread out. The ladies are choosing a stagger formation to go into with the leader in the middle. In staggers, the leader could also be off to one side or the other, and then the followers would simply angle so they can see her better. Try all these formations at home with your friends. Remember, you can have as little as 2 people in any of them. You can also face inwards, do inwards facing circles, lines, or anything that you can think of. Thank you so much for joining us. Have fun with what you've learned. I hope to meet you in a workshop or at Tribal Fest one day. Don't forget to check out my troop members' contact info for a class near you. Remember to dance well, work hard, and laugh often. Aloha nui loa.